Hey, what's up, fellow teachers? Teacher Micah here, and so it's been a while since I've really made a video or anything on here, and there's a reason for that, and for those of you that have noticed, and so I will kind of explain why I haven't really been as active. This year was really a pretty big year, but now, I had an unexpected absence away from Instagram, if you will, for those of you that have been around. And now I can tell everybody because everybody's kind of where I'm at. And basically what it gets at is I've been pretty spooked about this whole coronavirus since January, since it started for us. I remember back in January hearing something about a virus and not really thinking much of it. I just thought, well, something in one part of China is not going to affect the other part. And, maybe it was part of like an anti-China propaganda. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't really think about it. I didn't really worry about it. I didn't take it that seriously. And then, I also remember, here's the funny thing is I remember watching a show with my wife, a Netflix series called Pandemic, like right before, Chinese New Year. We were watching this, and it's just all about how, a pandemic like this can break out, how it can travel around the globe very, very quickly. It even speaks about how specifically from China, and why that's kind of a hotbed for this type of thing. And it talks about previous ones and how they fought it. Good show if if it's not going to increase your anxiety level. It kind of teaches you about some of this stuff. But that was a show that I was watching at the time. Chinese New Year came, of course, and I remember being really, really excited about it. I had my background decorated. I had my little wrap, my T-shirt. Everything was really, really good to go. It was a Thursday, and teachers started to kind of talk about this coronavirus thing, and I think we might have been calling it the Wuhan virus back then still. But I thought they must be exaggerating, or what are the chances of one of our students actually having some new diseases like that? I mean, it really wouldn't affect that many people, right? I mean, millions of people, out of millions of people, what are the chances of one of our students actually having it? So, I mean, I'm just telling you honestly what I thought, and I didn't take it seriously. I was with the don't worry crowd. It's not really a big deal, so I can kind of relate a little bit to some of those people now because, at one time maybe I did feel that way. But I get on there on Chinese New Year, and it was supposed to be really exciting. The kids were supposed to be all, pumped up and ready to go. Only thing is they weren't. They were sad. They were crying. They were upset. They were talking about they weren't going to be able to celebrate Chinese New Year. And for those of you that don't know, that would be like us not having Christmas. I mean, it would just be like wow, like what a morale killer. And yeah, it was very different. It went from having this cool Chinese New Year background to that not really being very kosher, because now, they're not really going to celebrate it like that. So, it changed the whole mood. It just changed everything. So I did everything I could to just lift their spirits, and I started teaching as much as I could, of course. But the thing is, as I'm watching this unfold, and of course it didn't help that I was watching that TV show, it started to give me what I call like the creepy crawlies. It really, really did. It started to make me like, I don't know, start to put two and two together. And I started to kind of realize that like, this could come here. This could be real. This could, this could very easily come here. This could very easily be in America. And so it really kind of hit my psyche. It really messed with like my mental health. And of course at the time I was really actually quite active. I just started the weight loss group. We were going strong with that. I was, working on a few projects with Nancy Taylor. I was, had a bunch of articles and videos kind of on deck getting ready to made, but, you just kind of like, I don't know, put things in perspective, if you will. And I started to feel like, time was of essence, and that, I really needed to spend more time with my family, my daughter. And, I started doing that, spending time outside, taught my daughter how to ride a bike, just kind of getting away from, social media and all that, because I don't know how to explain it. I just sort of was putting two and two together. And another thing, before I get too sidetracked, is about Journey, of course. I was planning to go to Journey. I went to, DC Journey, and at the end of the DC Journey, and some of my friends on here know this because I told you guys about this, I had this weird sinking feeling that was going to be the last Journey. I was even asking my friends, like, do you think they're going to have another Journey? Is there, and I was telling some of these people how I felt. Very, very strange. I know some of my friends on here can attest that this really did happen. And, people were confused. They're like, well, why wouldn't they have a Journey? And I don't know. I don't know why I would feel like just like I had the weird feeling. And then they announced the Atlanta Journey, and I was like, oh, I'm just being, paranoid or something, and didn't think anything about it. Made my travel arrangements. I actually purchased the tickets, hotel, everything like that. So I was really ready to go, and pretty stoked about it. Really, I had signed up for several meetups. Was putting together a meetup of my own with Elizabeth Joy. We were going to do a Shamrock Run, which has since been postponed, of course. And so yeah, I was very excited about the whole thing, and that's kind of where we were. So things started to kind of unfold with the deal on the in China. They started to progress, and it got further into my show, and again, I just had like the creepy crawlies. It was just the weirdest thing. It was like, the only thing I can describe it, I know a lot of you teachers out there will understand exactly what I'm saying. It's like being chased down a long hallway by a slow-moving turtle, only that turtle has a knife. And you're trying to tell everybody about this turtle with a knife, and they're like, well, it's just a turtle. And I'm like, yes, but this turtle has a knife, and they're telling you, well, yeah, but it's just a turtle. Most people, if you're young and healthy, you just kick it out of the way or something. And it's like, and that's true, but the turtle will hurt some people. The turtle is going to hurt some people, and it's like, maybe we could do something to stop it now. And I just got real quiet because I wasn't going to get on social media and start talking about this stuff. I think I told a friend in my real life world about it, and I started preparing myself. Luckily, a little bit, the wife kind of prepared a little bit too. And so mentally, like all of you out there, we've been kind of with this for a little while. So, we watched this unfold with our students in China, and we know how it affected them. And so seeing that, we've been under the mental stress of this for over 60 days now. And I just realized, I needed to live in the moment, and I started to really think about, canceling my plans. I canceled my plans for Journey, and I didn't really want to talk to anybody about that because I didn't want to sound like a negative person. I didn't want to seem like I was, I just didn't want to be that person. Normally, I'm not that person. It's a strange thing. So I just stayed real quiet about it. Finally, I told everybody, hey, look, I'm not going to go make it to Journey, and explained, told them basically it was something like I couldn't make it or whatever. But really, the reality of it is, my friends, is that I didn't want to bring everybody down and be that guy, right? That okay, I just didn't. But I also at the same time didn't want to be really enthusiastic. That's why, like Elizabeth, I wasn't out there promoting the race or really involved with that because after a certain point, and I'm sure people might have noticed, I just kind of went quiet because I didn't want to be like that negative energy, but I also didn't want to really encourage people to go. And I was already thinking like maybe this isn't the safest idea, and even right up to the last minute, people were asking, can we still go? And maybe there's still people in Atlanta right now, but that's not something that I was really trying to really encourage people to do. We've had our own perspective, of course, and you guys know, my friends that teach, you guys know what I'm talking about. You understand it's different when you actually see this one-on-one, and these are kids that we know them, and they can speak to us and speak their mind, and so that's basically it. So I'm not really a worrier. Normally I would be with it's not that bad crowd, but witnessing in China, it is quite disturbing, and it really, like I say, it really took a toll on my mental health. I did try to teach as much as I could, and have been pretty busy in that time. So, and it does keep me going just to keep them encouraged. My wife works in the medical field. She works at a major hospital. She's right on the front line. She's essential personnel. So we've been trying to get her ready. I mean, I have a certain perspective I could tell you about, and there's, I don't know if I really want to say too much, but I mean, things are a little bit scary in this country, I mean, I just, moving forward, I think we just need to all stick together and work together and prepare and, take this thing kind of seriously. It really is not some big joke, nothing to play around with. There's not enough hospital beds and ventilators in this country. People are going to die. People are going to die of things that aren't related to this because they can't get the care they need because the healthcare system's going to be overwhelmed. I'm not really here trying to be the harbinger of doom or the naysayer, but it is what it is. I mean, you guys know we need to flatten the curve, right? You guys understand that we can't overwhelm the healthcare system or else everything just really falls apart. So, I mean, I'm not really here to give like tips or advice or anything like that on anything. I'm not a doctor or really qualified to talk about epidemiology or contagious diseases or anything like that. So, you know, I'm not going to, but, you know, keep yourselves as healthy as possible to begin with. That will always defend you against illness and sickness. You know, like I say, you know, teachers, we have this, you know, a certain perspective, and I know what that's like. We saw it unfold early. We've been seeing this coming. We've been telling people, and I already see, you know, there's a lot of teachers out there trying to warn others, and you get frustrated with it's only a flu crowd. I've even gotten dragged into it. I've already, you know, blocked an aunt over her making jokes and stuff. I mean, really, you know, making light of the situation is one thing, but insensitive jokes, I think, is just, you know, absolutely beyond the pall of, you know, too early. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's not really my scene, but I mean, you know, I don't know. Certain jokes, I don't know where you draw the line. You draw the line when you're really just making fun of people dying and stuff is where I draw the line, quite honestly. But so, I mean, it really just enabled us, a lot of us, me, to start preparing early. So, you know, I've been preparing for a while now, so I'm happy about that. We've been stressed for a lot longer, of course. Now, and I also want to tell you, you know, there's a lot of times teachers, I think, really talk about this, but there's a lot of differences between us and China, too, that you have to be aware of. One thing is we're not nearly as dense of a population. We don't live right on top of each other. One of my students actually, like, they went to the country, you know, and their internet's really bad. It's not nearly as good as it used to be. It's actually horrible. They don't take classes nearly as much. But they actually moved. They had I don't know what it was, some sort of family house or something. But yeah, he was out, like outside actually, somewhere in the country, taking, you know, to get away from the big city. So, you know, they're living on top of each other. That makes it easier to spread, of course, obviously. And, you know, another thing is you got to understand, we see things through a keyhole. We don't see everything. And the people, our students, they're well off. They have money. They have means. So, you know, they can kind of afford to be pretty comfortable. They live in high-rise luxury apartments oftentimes. And so they can, you know, afford to make it, you know, as easy as possible. I have no idea how bad it is for their poor. I mean, and you know, and as much as we love our students and everything, you know, they have a whole country. There's a lot of economic disparity. What would it be like for the poor people there? I mean, I just don't even want to imagine. I don't even think we know. I don't even think we really get a picture of that, you know. So, you know, anyway, I do think it'll get a little bit worse, you know, like I said before, it gets better, certainly. Just stay strong, everybody. Let's just stick together and do the best we can. You know, a lot of ways we're built for this because we don't have to necessarily go out. You know, we're already remote workers, so that's a good thing. You know, but we have spouses that work outside and everything, and they come in. We have children. I don't know. I'm in a weird situation. I actually work at a university. We've been told to go online. Now, the thing is that like me, I've been sick for about a week. About maybe 3 weeks ago, I had a new student who entered the class really, really late because her study abroad program was canceled. And they normally do not let students register that late, but they, you know, made an exception for her because she had been in China on a work-study program. That had been canceled. She had been sent home, and I had talked to her. We had talked, and she you know, told me she didn't have it, but, you know, and I told her what we do, and so I was actually looking forward to meeting her and getting to know her. I never saw that student again, and about a week ago, I developed like a tickle in the throat, and I started to kind of, you know, cough a little bit, and I've had, you know, I haven't had no fever at all, though, and I'm really phlegmy and have a runny nose, so in that way, it feels like a cold, but I can't even get tested to find out, so, you know, I don't know. I am worried about that. My wife works in the medical field at a major hospital. They're expecting by, and there's probably a lot of things that I can't or shouldn't say, but I just tell you that you got these workers in the hospital that could be sick, and they're afraid to even maybe get tested because if they do, you know, they'll be sent home on 2 weeks unpaid leave. That's a problem. You know, these hospitals are going to start filling up. The beds are going to start filling up. Personnel are going to get sick. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and do the math for everybody. I'm sitting here catastrophizing, and I shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I am worried about my wife in this situation, and so I got to take care of her. And so that's where I'm at right now. But you guys take care of yourselves. Remember what we talk about with sleep. you got to make sure you get your sleep, okay, to keep your immune systems nice and strong. That is one of the number one things that's going to go with lack of sleep. So please do that. Take care of yourself. Anyway, God bless. I love you guys. I'll see you guys around. Bye.